All right, we made it. Triple digits. Episode 100 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. Man, we've done 100 episodes of these things. That's crazy. We've made it to the big 100. Um, and it's also a special one because it's World Series edition. World Series edition of the ATD Baseball Podcast. I mean, listen, let's not sugarcoat it. As you can probably tell, one person is happier than the other right now. I think if you've been watching the games, you can kind of figure out who that is. But um, it's not over yet. I still think um, the series is not over. It's not over. The Dodgers are halfway home, yes, but there's still work to be done here. And the Yankees are gonna throw out another punch, I think, tonight. But before we start dissecting the first two games and kind of reflecting a little bit on this 100th episode, Kyle, I hate to ask this, but how you doing?
Oh man, yeah, I'm doing good. For the most part, of course. This Yankee team has been stressing me out to say the least. However, it's been a crazy week. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm in a new area. This is going to be fun.
Yeah,
Um, so we got that under cover, and got some other news. Mello, I think I'm breaking this to you too. I got married last week. It's been it's been crazy.
yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, I wanted to wait until the podcast to kind of break it to you, but
Oh, so okay, damn! Wow, this is came out of nowhere. Jesus, you just threw a curveball. Jesus, I wasn't ready for it. Hey,
that
hang
was
on, hang on, hang on. Say that again. Can you say that again, please?
I will say that again because I can't get enough of saying it. I got married last week.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. I
How did this
appreciate it.
happen? I mean, okay. So hang on. Now I got a million questions here. Um, was that all the pictures and videos? That's what that was all about.
That's exactly what that was all
The
about.
pictures. Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you guys are officially married now.
We are officially married.
Well, that's great. Wow. Wow. This is really. Wow. This is really. That threw me off. It really did.
That was kind of the point. That's why I waited.
Yeah. Wow. This is incredible stuff, right here. I can't believe this. Um. Oh. I'm gonna ask this. I guess now. Are we still having a ceremony here, or what's going on?
At
Like, are
some
we?
point, yeah. At some
Okay.
point, we eloped. That was the official terminology for it. But
Okay.
yeah, we eloped, and then we ended up moving in to the new house like immediately. So one piece of advice I will give you is try to try to not to do that in the same week because it's a lot. So,
Okay.
but no, it's been
So
wild,
you guys
man.
went to the courthouse or something, or how did that happen?
Kind of. We
You gotta
went
give
through
him
a
$50. Or...
no, we went through a company and went to a real nice place and ended up doing the whole shebang. Just a little bit of a less attention kind of thing. And
Okay. There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, we still got the photos coming in. I'll make sure to send those over to you, Mello. But yeah, it's been nuts, man. And then of course the World Series is going on. So as hard as it's been as a Yankee fan for to watch this World Series so far, it's it's still cool. Your team's in the World Series. You got married. You moved into a new house. I don't think things can get much better.
I agree. And you got little Kyle on the way too soon. No, no, I'm just kidding. No, we're not. No, 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 we're not doing that. No, 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 no. That's not breaking news. Nope, nope. That's me. No, nope,
That's
nope, nope. Uh,
not yet. I broke the one news, but and I'm
yeah.
sure that's a little bit more
Yes.
hefty. So I feel like people will know about that beforehand. But yeah, for the
Yeah.
time, that's what I
That's
got.
great, man. Again,
Thank
congratulations.
I appreciate it. And I probably would have told you, but with episode 100 and the surprise factor, I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
you would. So That was the whole point of that.
Shit, you got me.
That was the point, man.
So this was the plan all along to do it like this week or this
Last
last week, I should say.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that. About a month. That's been planned. So I've had to keep it from you for a month.
You did an excellent job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My mind has also been other places too. I've been watching my team
Yeah. No, I
trying to
get
win a
that.
championship here. So my mind has been other places.
I mean, at least one of our teams are trying to win a championship. And then I have a
Yeah,
Madden
I think we should start getting. I think we should. Yeah, I think we should just start getting into this now.
Let's do it.
Um, 2 games have been played in the World Series so far. Um, if you haven't heard, the Dodgers are up 2-0, but kind of an un kind of I didn't think we were going to get to 2-0 like this.
Hmm.
I didn't think it was going to be like that. Um listen, I'm not going to waste any time because I've wanted to hear your thoughts, especially after game 1 on Friday.
Hmm.
So, Kyle, take it away. What are your thoughts after the first 2 games of this World Series where your team is down 0-2?
Okay. So I'll give you my two takeaways. Number one, Aaron Boone, and number two, Aaron Judge. Those are my two takeaways. I'm going to start with Aaron Boone. Um, Going to Nestor, I don't know what analytics or kind of thought process there was behind that. That didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. You're bringing in a guy who you just put on the World Series roster, okay? He hasn't pitched in the ALDS or the ALCS, and a little bit before that. You're bringing a guy out of the bullpen who is a starter by heart, and you're pushing him out of the bullpen in a game where it's lockdown. You need a guy who you can go to who's going to give you those outs when you need it. And Nestor was not the right choice in my mind. My mind immediately went to Tim Hill. Tim Hill has pitched lights out in the ALDS and the ALCS. This is a guy who we've been counting on in a weakened bullpen, I guess you can say. But instead, Boone brings in a guy who is a starter turned reliever for the playoffs. And what does he do? He breaks the hearts of millions of Yankee fans. And props to the Dodgers, props to Freddie Freeman. I mean, this guy, he's injured, man. That's what it comes down to. And he's putting the team on his back and doing the best thing that he does. And this is and the writing was on the wall, man. When I saw Nestor come out of that bullpen, my mind immediately went to, okay, we're losing this game because you're bringing a guy who hasn't pitched in over a month straight off of the IL, and he was shoved on the World Series roster. It made absolutely no sense to me, and that's what cost us the game in game one. So you're now going into game two with a completed loss. That is devastating, and that's tough. It's tough to come off of that and really really rejuvenate the team, right? So you're going into that locker room after game one, and it's not just a loss, man. This is a World Series loss, and you just got walked off. Like, you're going into game two absolutely deflated and not really knowing, like, all the momentum is on the other side, and you're still having to play another game at Dodger Stadium in front of that crowd and Yamamoto, may I add. So this entire series got off on the wrong foot because of one mistake out of the bullpen, and I think that's what went into game two. Also, you know, you are constantly you're going into these games, right? If he continues to make these decisions, whether it comes to the bullpen or I'll get to the lineup in a second, um, this series is going to be over very quickly. Could be over in the next 2 games. So that brings me on to Aaron Judge. This is a guy who we all know what he does in the regular season, right? This guy breaks records. He's batting over 300, and he can launch you 60 homers a year. That's almost unheard of in today's game. But then once October hits, it never translates. And that's been the biggest gripe Yankee fans have had about Aaron Judge for the last 6 years since he's come up to the majors. This guy has had a taste of the postseason multiple times and constantly. This guy cannot bat over 200 once October hits. It doesn't make sense. He's had 40 at bats in this postseason and he's batting under 200. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he only has two bombs. Like this guy, he even okay. You brought it up before we started. He had a 94-mile-per-hour fastball right down the pipe, and the bat didn't even leave his shoulders. He would have feasted on that in the regular season. That would have been another homer. This I said this before. I believe it was either 2 episodes ago or one. This Yankee team is not winning the World Series without Aaron Judge producing. He is by far the best player on the team, and he hasn't done shit this postseason. And the Yankees still somehow find themselves in the World Series. And what do? Well, guess what? Game 3 is going to start in about an hour, and Aaron Judge is still in the 3 hole. I don't see a world where Boone takes him out or drops him in this lineup, and that's concerning for me. It really is, because these next at least 2 games, if you keep Judge in that 3 hole and he doesn't produce, dude, this Yankee crowd is going to eat him alive, and and they're going to eat Boone alive too. The recipe to get back into this series is for, well, number one, if you're going to keep Judge in that 3 hole still, he needs to start producing. If not, and you go down 3-0 tonight, you're basically not coming back from that. But in game 4, that lineup better be a lineup where you see Giancarlo Stanton in the 3 hole, you see Soto in the 2 hole, Glaber leading off, and then I don't know who you put in that 4 hole, but you kind of just shift it. There needs to be a statement made if you go down 3-0. I feel like there needs to be a statement made after 2-0. But obviously, I'm not the manager and I don't make the lineup card. Those have been my 2 takeaways. Game 1 has been heartbreaking, and I feel like it really just flooded into game 2. And that's exactly what it's been. Defense needs to pick it up, obviously. And, you know, this lineup just needs to take advantage. I mean, this lineup needs to score runs to beat this Dodger team, because that Dodger lineup is going to give you the same amount of runs, if not more. And Glaber's been producing, Soto, Stanton. Those are the 3 guys that you're relying on right now. You add Judge into the mix, and your chances are a whole lot better. But as of now, it worries me without Judge producing, and it worries me with Boone's decisions. Those are my 2 takeaways from the first 2 games.
Yeah. I guess just to give you my perspective on the Dodger side, I had mentioned this. Well, hang on. Before I get to that, the thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I said it at the time because I was technically still working. Why is Aaron Boone pulling Garrett Cole after 86 pitches? Why? I don't understand that. I played, and I know Kyle, you did do. I played baseball. Listen, not obviously professionally, or I played up until college. I played up until then. There have been so many pitchers that were carving my school up, and we were begging the coach to take them out of the game. Please, can we please see somebody else? You don't think that Dodger side was doing that in game 1? I understand he gave up the sack. He gave up a triple to Kike and a sack fly to Will Smith, but other than that, Garrett Cole was fantastic, striking guys out. He settled after he gave up that little hiccup, and he kind of he didn't give up a run in that first inning, but the top 3 guys, Otani, Betts, and Freeman, hit him hard,
Mm-hmm.
and they all. But again, they all lined out, or they hit him right at people. I know Freddie got the triple, but Teoscar lined out right to Volpe. Mookie had a fly out to, I think it was Judge, and I know Otani had a big fly out to Judge. So even after that, and after he gave up the sack fly, Garrett Cole was still dealing, and he was still you know, pitching like he's supposed to, like an ace.
Mm-hmm.
And for Aaron Boone to go out there and pull him after 86 pitches makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. And I'm sorry, I'm not, listen, I understand this is the new world of baseball where, you know, unfortunately the computer and analytics is a big part of the game now, which I understand it can probably help you a lot. Just look at the Dodgers. It can help you over 162 games, but in the postseason, you just gotta go by feel, man. Screw what the numbers say. Like, I understand third time through the order and all that stuff, but if you have a pitcher like Garrett Cole, who is at 86 pitches in the sixth inning, I'm sorry. Like, if I'm Garrett Cole and I see Aaron Boone walking out of that dugout, it's like, get your ass back in there. I'm finishing this inning. I'm not coming out at least until I throw 95, 100 pitches.
Yeah.
Because you weren't getting anything out of the offense, and you had the 2-1 lead with the Giancarlo home run.
Mm-hmm.
So, for I never understood that. And it gave the Dodgers new life. It did.
Yeah.
Because then I forget who came out first. It might have been Clay Holmes. If not, it was Luke Weaver.
Yeah.
But Dodgers tied the game in the eighth inning.
Mm-hmm.
Otani had the big double that turned into a triple because of the misplay from Torres. And then Mookie did what he was supposed to do and hit a sac fly to Judge, and the game was tied at 2.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. That was the kind of head scratchy thing. But just kind of giving you my perspective on the first 2 games. Listen, I mentioned this on the Think Blue that I did immediately after game 1 when I got home. Freddie Freeman hitting that home run, I'm 22, right? Yeah, I'm 22 years old. Jeez, I'm getting to that point where I don't even remember my age. I'm a kid in my young 20s. I don't remember the Kirk Gibson walk off in 1988. I wasn't alive around. I wasn't alive. But I always hear stories about people that were at that game, who were watching it at home or somewhere. And believe me, I love to hear stories like that, especially when it has to do with my team and such a historic moment. But then, selfishly, I ask myself, where's my Kirk Gibson moment? When is my generation's Kirk Gibson moment going to happen? Don't get me wrong, the Dodgers have had great moments throughout these 13 years that they've been in the postseason. Justin Turner walk off to beat the Cubs in game 2, big moment in 2017. Beating, the 2020, obviously winning the World Series in 2020, beating the Giants in a division series, beating San Diego, all this stuff. The Dodgers have been, luckily, the Juan Uribe home run off of the Braves in 2013. There's been so many good Dodger moments, but not like that. Not like that. Bases loaded, game 1 of the World Series, you're down a run. And for my generation, that's our Kirk Gibson moment. It is. Now, obviously, and I said this after, it's not going to mean shit if you can't figure out a way to get 2 more wins here and close and finish the deal. Because, if you lose this World Series, it's going to be like, okay, yeah, that was a great moment, but it didn't do anything. You didn't win. You still lost the series. Doesn't matter. The reason why the Kirk Gibson home run has stood the test of time 30-something years later is because they won that series. We're not talking about that moment if the A's, that big giant A's team, ended up winning the series anyways. But because they won the whole thing, that's a moment that's going to live on forever. And if Dodgers can get 2 more wins here and close this thing out, that Freddie Freeman home run is going to be remembered forever in Dodger history. And listen, I'm not being funny here when I say, I mean, I am being funny, but I mean it too. The feeling that I had when Freddie Freeman hit that walk-off home run, you've heard me say it before, Kyle, and I'm going to say it again. No woman can replicate that feeling that I had when Freddie Freeman hit that walk-off. No woman has ever made me feel that good. I have never felt more pleasure in my life than that moment. I'm dead serious. Many have tried, few have come close, but not like that. The feeling that I had when Freddie Freeman hit that walk-off home run, incredible. And I swear, no woman can replicate that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just God bless my girlfriend, my future girlfriend, or my wife. God bless her because she's gonna have to live up to some pretty damn expectations.
I'll
All
tell
she
you,
has to
man.
do is look. Go for it.
I'll tell you one there. You'll find it. You will. You'll get there.
Okay, I hope so. Because right now, God bless her. She's gonna have to raise that bar pretty high. She's gonna get to that point. But um, you know, and it couldn't happen to a better guy either. Freddie
Yeah.
Freeman, who's dealt with a lot of shit this year.
Hmm.
He's a guy that prides himself on playing every night,
Yeah.
playing 162 games, and this year was kind of a struggle for him. You
Hmm.
know, he had the ankle injury that has been bothering him all postseason. But hey, you know what? He's a warrior. He's a Dodger. He's doing everything he can to get on the field and perform. And obviously, you know, the scary incident that happened with his kid, you know, during the All-Star break and into July and August, you know, where that was a real life or death situation where I can't imagine what the family had to go through at that point, and I'm so glad that he's recovering and he's doing better. So this was a rough year for Freddie Freeman. So for him to get that moment, couldn't ask for it. You couldn't ask for a better, um, you know, guy to hit that because he deserved it. And
Hmm.
you know, also too, Freddie Freeman, this is his third season here now, which is crazy to think, but this is his third season here. He hasn't had that Dodgers signature postseason moment yet. He's had
Hmm.
plenty of regular seasons moment. Don't get me wrong, he's had plenty of them, but he hadn't had that postseason Dodger moment yet because he's had it with the Braves. He won a World
Yeah.
Series not too long ago, and he had a big couple big home runs. And when he Dansby throws him the ball, he's putting his arms in the air. That's his Braves Freddie Freeman moment. But as a Dodger fan, I was waiting for it. When is it going to happen with the Dodgers? Because we've seen it from the other guys that have been here. Mookie's had his moment in 2020, and he's picked it up lately this year. Will Smith has popped a couple. Kike's had a couple. You know, Muncie's had his moment against the Red Sox. Shohei Ohtani, you know, even though this is his first crack at the postseason, he had his moment against San Diego, and he had a couple big home runs against the Mets. Teoscar, year one, you know, new to this team. He's had already a couple big postseason moments. So for Freddie Freeman to have that moment in game one, dude deserves it, man. And then in game two, Yamamoto pitched fantastic. Pitched fantastic, you know. And that was the first time that the Dodgers, and I had to look this up, you know, the Dodgers went up 2-0 in a postseason series for the first time since when they went up 2-0 against the Padres in 2020. It had been that long. That had been that long when they had a 2-0 series lead, and as a Dodger fan, you couldn't ask for it at a better time. Split, get the two home games at home, protect home field, and you go to New York up 2-0. Little shaky there at the end. Trinan literally almost gave me a heart attack. Dave Roberts almost wanted to say something to him too, because I'm like, dude, you've had a great postseason. You've been pushing all the right buttons. Don't tell me you're gonna screw it up now. With Blake Trinan coming here on a second night of a back-to-back, where the Yankee hitters saw him on game one, and the Yankees got to him in game two. You know, Soto had a big hit. Giancarlo had a hit that went off the bases. Jazz on a 3-2 pitch after a great at bat was able to muscle a breaking ball for a base hit. And all of a sudden, you know, it's bases are loaded and things could get interesting. But then he settled down. He struck out Judge, struck out Volpe, and then again Dave Roberts pressing the right button, and going to Alex Vesia. And on one pitch, and I'm not gonna lie to you, for a split second, my heart sunk. When that ball was in the air, my heart sunk for a split second because I'm like, you can't be serious. Don't tell me we're gonna have back-to-back go-ahead grand slams in this World Series. But it didn't. Tommy Edman was able to catch it. Dodgers go up 2-0 and they're 2 wins away. So, um, and I know, you know, listen, I know Kyle and Yankee fans probably don't want to hear this right now, but a lot of guys haven't been producing for the Dodgers yet.
Hmm.
Muncie's kind of had a quiet series. Mookie's had a couple base hits, but he hasn't done anything crazy yet. You know, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, they've been the ones that have kind of been carrying this team a little bit this series. They've gotten the good pitching from Flaherty and Yamamoto, but some of these bats haven't made their impact yet.
Hmm.
And I feel like they're going to these next couple nights. And Shohei Ohtani, thank God he's in the lineup today. Because in the moment, I thought it was over. I thought his series was over for a second. Didn't look good. And the thing, and I want people to get the perspective, because like I said, I was there for games 1 and 2.
Hmm.
It was in game 2, it was a party, man. It was a party. Ice Cube setting the tone from the beginning of the game, dude. Everybody was going crazy. Today was a good day. I was jamming to it. Everybody was going nuts. And then, Tommy Edman hits the home run, gets us going. Everybody's all hyped. I know Soto tied it and kind of sucked the energy out, but then Teoscar had the home run, and then Freddie. And then there wasn't really anything up until the ninth inning, or up until that Shohei, incident at second base when he was trying to steal, and it sucked the energy out of that building. It really did, because now, yeah, you were winning the game, and you wanted to keep going, but your concern was with your star player. Like, what happened with him?
Yeah.
So I kept refreshing Twitter trying to find anything or see if anybody had anything on Ohtani, and it's his shoulder. Thankfully, the MRI showed there's no damage or anything. Um, he's gonna play today. Let's see how he looks, because I mean, I don't think he's going to be 100% the rest of the series, but just having Ohtani in there, his presence, it it puts fear in the opposition. It does, even if he's not 100%. But I guess they said he took some swings off the tee and he said he felt fine. So obviously he's probably taking every drug known to man right now, anything that can keep him pain free for the least the next couple of nights. But you know we got Walker Buehler going today. I feel good about it. Obviously the Yankee crowd is going to be rocking, even though they're down 0-2. Like it's like, okay, like we haven't had a chance to show baseball what our fans can do. So there is going to be juice at the beginning of the game. But I'm telling you right now, don't let the Dodgers score first in this game.
Hmm.
Do not let the Dodgers score first, because if they do, that stadium is going to get so tight and they're going to get so quiet, and they're going to start, like you mentioned, they're going to start turning on their own players,
Oh yeah.
especially if they're not producing. So, if you're the Dodgers, you have to score first in this game. To me, it's imperative that you do. You don't want the Yankees to get off to a good start. You want to get this crowd out of it, and um, let's see what they can do. But right now, if you're a Dodgers fan, you got to feel pretty good. But you know, Kobe Bryant said, "Job's not finished," and it's not. Dodgers are 2 wins away, but there's still plenty of work to be done. So I'm not satisfied yet. I'm happy that we got the 2 games at home, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Despite, don't listen to what any Yankee fan tells you right now. Series is not over. Series is not over.
Yeah. A little going just backtracking just a tad. You had mentioned about another little tidbit that I had forgotten about Aaron Boone. Pulling Garrett Cole, and I'm going to transition this into tonight. Pulling Garrett Cole at 86 pitches made absolutely no sense to me, because if you literally just go onto his baseball reference page and you look at his career postseason stats, Garrett Cole is a guy who is made for the postseason. He has a sub 2.50 ERA heading into October. That is what you want on the mound, okay? And I think what really kind of translated more into game two here, you pulling you're pulling Garrett Cole, okay? Your ace. This isn't just your, I don't know, third, fourth starter who somehow got you into seventh inning with only allowing one run. It's Garrett Cole. This is a guy who signed here for $324 million for 9 years. He's supposed to be in those moments. That's the guy you want on the mound. And pulling him out of there, and we had mentioned this too. If you pull a guy too early, especially a guy like Garrett Cole, you really need to make sure you win this game, because now there's a chance we don't see Garrett Cole again. And those are the starts that you want to win. Because from Garrett Cole, or after Garrett Cole in the rotation, you're not going to get anywhere close because that's the kind of guy that you signed to pitch here. He wants to be here. He's going to be a lifelong Yankee. This is a guy who just a season ago won the Cy Young. This is a guy who you throw out there until he's at, I don't know, 120, 130 pitches, not 86. And that just goes more into Aaron Boone. Okay. And bringing in Nestor, this is also one last tidbit on that. Um, you have a guy that you signed for $18.5 million in the offseason, Marcus Stroman. He has not pitched once this entire postseason. And I'm sorry. I feel my chances with Marcus Stroman on the mound over Nestor Cortez, I feel that very strongly. That's not just something where, oh, it's okay, let's just grab a guy from the bullpen. No, Marcus Stroman is a proven pitcher. He's a veteran in this league who can pitch in October. I don't like that we haven't used him. That makes no sense to me. But we can throw out guys like Nestor who hasn't pitched in almost 2 months, coming straight off of the IL. And you're wanting him to pitch out of a jam to Freddie Freeman, one of the best contact hitters in all of baseball. That's where it just made no sense to me. Now, heading into tonight, you have Walker Buehler on the other side. It's his first time playing the Yankees, pitching against the Yankees, and it's Clark Schmidt's first time pitching against the Dodgers. I feel the chances with Walker Buehler a whole lot better than I do Clark Schmidt. Schmidt has obviously never pitched in a World Series game before. He's young. He's not really proven. Yeah, he's had a solid season, but you're down 2-0. I don't like my chances with Clark Schmidt. This is where I would have shaken that up a little bit. Um, However, that's what we're throwing out tonight, and you hit it right on the head. You can't let the Dodgers score first. If you do, this crowd's going to turn on the team, and it's not going to be great. But we'll see how it goes. I really think I like my chances with Glaber. I like my chances with Soto, and I think tonight is Judge's prove it. If if he doesn't produce tonight, man, I don't even want to know how that crowd's going to react. This is the first World Series we've been in 15 years, and if we don't pull out with a single win, that's not going to look good for this front office. I understand you're going up against a super team who spent over $1 billion this season, this offseason. That's no excuse. I don't see a world where this lineup can't go toe to toe with the Dodgers. Obviously, that hasn't shown, but we're gonna we're gonna have to get more production out of the bottom of the lineup too. Where you see Volpe, where you see Trevino or Wells, where you see Alex Verdugo, those guys. You need more out of them, and if not, I don't see this series lasting much longer. As much as I hate to say that, but yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight. This game starts in a little under an hour, and hopefully we'll be singing a different tune and kind of get some life back in this team.
Yeah, and if you're the Dodgers, like I said, you got to score first. Continue to take good at bats. Um, you know, Dodgers. Listen, I don't need the Dodgers to let their foot off the gas, but you have to remember they're the ones up 2-0. But you have to act like it's still. I hate to be like this, but you have to act like the ones that you're down 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but because I've heard all the Yankee fans and people making the comparisons to '96. If you want to eliminate that tonight, you better win because that's gonna keep echoing and echoing if you allow them to win tonight. But if
Yep.
you win tonight, it's not over because we've seen 3-0 comebacks before, but I mean it's not over, but it's close to being done. And you know, let's see how the rest of the series goes, but it's crazy that there's a world where you literally ended the Yankees' chances in game one, which
Yeah.
is crazy to say that
Yep.
because you think, all right, it's game one, it's a long series, yeah, it's tough that we lost it like that, but things like that can have a ripple effect that can last the rest of the series.
Mm-hmm.
You may not know it in the moment, but let's see how far this series goes, but it could legitimately be, you know, yeah, that kind of sucked all the air out of the room after that.
And
But
I will also say that's exactly where Yankee fans are at. It was that much of a devastating loss. I mean, you had your ace going 7 innings. He gets pulled early. Then you're um, going to your bullpen, a bullpen that's already weakened, and then you bring in a guy who hasn't pitched in over a month, coming off the IL, to one of the best contact hitters in all of baseball. That had that had devastating written all over it. And we knew that. The moment we saw Nestor jog out of the bullpen, we knew that it was a bad feeling. And when October hits and you get that feeling, yeah, you trust it because that's how it is. That's how baseball in October is. All postseason baseball is based off feeling, and I'm glad you said that. And that's where that's where the whole Yankee thing, right? For years, it's been all about analytics, this computer technology bullshit. It's overtaken this front office too much. And you look at the past Yankee teams that have had success. There was a feeling to them, man. You know, being 9 years old, I remember getting that feeling as a 9-year-old kid. You know, those are things that you feel. And to be honest with you, Aaron Boone and his heroics in Game 7 against Boston. I mean, it's based off of feeling. That's what October is. And for the fact that we had a former player as our manager, I feel like he would have gotten that out of nowhere, or gotten that a lot more than what other managers would. And sadly, that's not the case, but that's exactly where Yankee fans are at. That game one just took the air out of that entire locker room. And it's now at this point where we feel like it's over, obviously. You know, it's not over. You know, if we win tonight, we'll have a better of a chance to, you know, just go 1-0. Go 1-0 at a time. And that's how you have to take it. And but no, that's 100% correct. It's gotten to the point where, you know, it just feels like it's over. There's no life in this team. And it sucks when you're on that end, obviously. You know, first time in 15 years and your team's down 2-0 in the World Series. So it sucks, but, you know, we'll take your kind of positive route to it and, you know, just one game at a time. And maybe we can get back into this.
yeah, um, that's pretty much everything on game 1 and 2,
I
and
think
game
so.
3, which by the time this comes out, game 3 will already be over. So
Yeah.
the only two scenarios that are going to happen here, it's going to be 2-1 Dodgers or 3-0 Dodgers. Um, we'll see, but I think that's going to do it for episode 100.
I think so. And I think the best way to close this, Yogi Berra said it best. It ain't over till it's over. So let's hope the Yankees take that into consideration starting tonight. Let's hope.
Um, and on the Dodgers side, um, I no, I'm gonna save that till this is hopefully this is over. But just a quick shout out, real quick. Shout out to the people that have been listening to my Think Blue, which is not mainly, but it's been some of my coworkers and people that I know and other people that they've reached out to me and said they like it. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Levy has become the official home for Think Blue. Like people are listening, and I appreciate that. It really means a lot to me. Um, and also, um, shout out to today's. I know today's episode 100 in Game 3 of the World Series, but um, my grandfather today would have been 98. Would have been 98.
Wow.
He's not here, obviously, passed away in 2021. But thinking about him today again. You know, it's his birthday. Huge Dodger fan. Huge Dodger fan, like the rest of my family. Um, Thinking about him today. Happy birthday, Grandpa. I miss you. Um, and with that, I think that's gonna do it for episode 100.
I think so.
Go Yankees, go Dodgers, whichever side you're rooting for. Or if you hate both teams and you don't want to watch, I get it. I guess. I mean,
I
ratings have
don't.
been pretty good the first two games, so you're missing out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, man.
All right. Well, we'll see you in a week. You know, if we go as planned the next Monday, this season's over. You
Yeah.
know, it's gonna be over by the time we hop back here on Monday. It's over. Even if the series does go to 7, it's over.
Hmm.
So we will have a champion by Monday, and we'll see who that is, and
We will.
we will celebrate them, and we will talk about it, and then we will start getting into the off season. Unfortunately, but until next time, here's to another 100.
So
Adios.